In the Gospel of Thomas, the five trees in paradise, there's a lot of us been working on that and trying to figure out things. And Gnostics and a lot of people are all over the physical world, five senses or something else. And I play it out in the psyche, so I don't come up with anybody else's answers. And here's what I have found, that I have found where it originates. I've been saying I think it's Plato, because Plato has his five... I won't get into that. Plato is also teaching this stuff, but in a different analogous form. It's not any more complicated than what we're doing, but it's more foreign. So I'm going to stick to things that are more familiar. I thought it was Plato because of the 5 levels of government. And if you go through that, you'll see that they are actually structured 5 levels of human existence. And it didn't quite match up because they don't play out in the psyche that way. I couldn't quite get there, and I stayed away from it. I'm working on the Enuma Elish. You know what? I found it. It is here. The origins of 5 trees in paradise in a different analogous manner is from Mesopotamia. And what it is, in chapter 1, there is, well, the story goes on that if you play it out in the psyche, what is actually happening is that our inner being is being created and being overrun by raucous gods. The female portion of us wants to protect them. The conscious of us wants to get rid of them because it's messing up our life. The story isn't unfolding that way. You have to extract that from it. What I'm finding is I keep this healing template in mind and looking at the material, that what this is doing is containing a story that is telling us that when we first start out in life, that we have become full of all kinds of things that are raucous, that keep us disturbed, and that we want to clear that out. But initially, our subconscious doesn't want to. The female wants to protect it while the conscious is saying we got to get rid of it, and they're creating what is necessary to go resolve these issues. However, it's being done in a wonderful story that's going to carry into the population. But there's a nested teaching that is like the others. Play it out in the psyche. But at some point, the God is creating the sun that is going to be coming in to take over, and look at what happens here. Dressed in a shining robe fit for 10 gods. Rising beyond him, there were 5 almighty beams which surmounted his head. 5 beams surmounting his head is playing out in the psyche. 5 beams and eyes. We see this all over the place. 5, there it is, playing out in the psyche. 5 trees in paradise, 5 combined concepts. Conscious, subconscious, characteristics that you hold inside, considered the offspring, the unified field that we operate within, the higher being. Those 5 parts right here is what create us, and what we use to recreate ourselves very actively right there. The 5 beams in the head, that's it right here. This teaching, it's everywhere, but the 5 concepts right there are very specifically mentioned. In other material, it may not be mentioned, but they're all there. You will find a God guiding a person who was on a trek. All of the components are still there. You're trying to find the female part who's, off on their own. That this is conceptually going to show up. But the point that I wanted to make here is that the 5 trees in paradise, to me, the Enuma Elish, the earliest creation story, possibly hundreds of years before Genesis. We see it there, just in different analog form. Love one another. See you in the next video.